So, today we are reading from the 4th chapter, Embracing All. And we're going to learn about this particular figure, Pramukh Swami, and how he was really good at embracing all, especially the underrepresented and minority population. Swami Shri's deep connection with his Bhai Bhaktas, his female devotees, was founded on a bedrock of spirituality. There was trust, faith, and bhakti, Sanskrit word meaning loving devotion, which led to a feeling of security, fairness, and unity. This eclipsed any feelings of distance from their guru. These bhaktas, these loving devotees, held Swami Shri in their mind and hearts, and they knew that they were spiritually in his. Imagine never having spoken to or met someone face to face, but to still regard them as your deepest friend. This was the reality for so many of Swami Shri's Bhai Bhaktas, his female devotees, and for others outside of the community, including one Jeannette of Voorburg, Netherlands. In a letter to Swami Shri, she once wrote, "Because you are such an important part of my mind, I have a feeling that you know all of this already, everything about me. During the day, and especially during my little morning puja." Puja is a Sanskrit word meaning a reverence we show towards the universe and the divine. I do not know how, but in a way, I am talking with you. It feels like the deepest friendship of my life. All good things I know, all the flowers I see, I send to you. For Bhagwan Swami Narayan, via my mind and heart. Bhagwan Swami Narayan was Swami Shri's personal favorite form of the divine. Distance is no problem for feelings. I thank you for being in my mind, she wrote. And hello, Grandfather, Fana, and Ro. Almost 9 years after being introduced to Pramukh Swami Maharaj and the satsang community through her friend, Ankop, Jeannette made the trip to Ahmedabad for Bhagwan Swaminarayan's bicentennial celebrations. The atmosphere of the celebration was a far cry from her spiritually intimate friendship with Swami Shri via the English letter she had sent through devotees. She had been thinking about Swami Shri gracing her home since 1972, but in that moment, she wondered if it would ever happen. She manifested that thought as a spiritual wish on Bhagwan Swaminarayan's bicentennial celebrations in 1981. 3 years later, when Swami Shri was on a spiritual tour of Europe, the bhaktas, the devotees in London, wrote to Swami Shri and asked him to come back to celebrate Bhagwan Swaminarayan's manifestation celebrations in London. Swami Shri declined. He wanted to visit Han Kop and his friend Jeannette in the Netherlands. Exactly 3 years to the day that Jeannette had wished for Swami Shri to visit her home, Swami Shri sat in her son's, Patrick's, red car and drove from a nearby town to Voorburg, just outside of The Hague. Patrick apologized to Swami Shri. "Sorry, Swami Shri. We have a small, low-profile car. I hope it is comfortable." Swami Shri was happy to visit their home and ride with them. "Not at all. Your car is as high and large as your heart, and that is why I have come all the way from India." Swami Shri graced Jeannette's home and had a lovely conversation with her family about ahimsa, which means least harm, bhakti, loving devotion, and Bhagwan Swaminarayan's message of ethics. As he was leaving, Patrick said, "Swami Shri, my mom has spun a beautiful orange blanket for you. It is warm and light. Will you please accept it?" Swami Shri asked him and Han to wrap it around him. "I have been feeling cold since yesterday. I was hoping for a warm orange blanket to wrap around me. And here, you have read my mind." Jeannette, Patrick, and Han were overjoyed to have gifted Swami Shri what he needed. Swami Shri was overjoyed to gift them with what they had wanted, a visit from their guru and friend. Over the years, Jeannette's bond with Swami Shri only intensified through her profound understanding of bhakti, loving devotion, dharma, which means righteous duty, and atmanishta, which means self-abiding mint. Now, is the music too loud? I'm going to turn it down for you guys, just in case. That oneness and unity that she felt with Swami Shri was a product of her spiritual connection with her guru. Her bhakti, her loving devotion, was at the heart of the connection. It was a connection that was experienced and relished by millions of Bhai Bhaktas, female devotees around the world. Swami Shri built bridges to people's hearts, transcending physical distance. He was bound by these vows of detachment, but liberated by his fairness, equality, and eye for unity. His vows were not imposed on others, but rather instrumental in understanding and empathizing with millions, albeit from a distance. The divine within him spoke to the divine within all those he encountered. As detached as he was a sadhu, a monk, he was an equally loving friend, mentor, and spiritual master. It was this spirit that was at the center of BAPS's pioneering activities for women and children in rural and tribal villages and major cities around the world. He instructed the leadership to create separate but equal activities and management structures which empowered women to run their own spiritual and humanitarian wings within the organization. He believed in them and trusted their commitment to serve society. I remember asking the organization's international convener of activities, Ishwar Charandas Swami, why he frequently visited the construction site for an all-girls school outside of Ahmedabad. "Is it necessary for you to visit so frequently, Swami? It will get done." He replied, "It is necessary, because it is Swami Shri's wish that schools like these give back to our community. He has repeatedly told me to dedicate an equal number of resources for boys and girls' education and their respective spiritual camps and recreational activities. Now, every semester that this school is delayed." I understood. Swami Shri was a father, friend, and guru who understood, respected, and gave a voice to his female devotees, Bhai Bhaktas, and women everywhere in an otherwise patriarchal society. His celibacy only strengthened his ability to connect with them at a spiritual level. As Jeannette Gronin had articulated, it was the deepest of connections, which inspired an entire community to love, respect, and cherish the role of women in their spiritual and social lives. And I'm going to pause our reading of In Love, at Ease there for now. This section of Embracing All was dedicated to his love for the feminine. The next section we will read is all about his love for people beyond religion and race. I hope to see you there next time.